NFC South. Tampa, Carolina. Their season comes down to the final 3 games.
He got his man in for a touchdown.
He's got no shot at catching that man.
Oh, it's gone. How did he do it?
What a sick move.
It's a touchdown.
This is for the division.
Well, here's the way it looks in the South, and if the Bucs win, they clinch with a win at Miami next week, or Panther loss to Seattle and any Falcons loss. If the Panthers win, Panthers can clinch with a Buccaneer loss at Miami and a Carolina win over Seattle. Otherwise, that Week 18 game between these two teams would be for the division title, that home game to start the playoffs. Todd Bowles, who's led the team to the division title since becoming the head coach, just had a house built in the last 5 years in Kannapolis, North Carolina. That's NASCAR country, not far from here where he spends his offseason. And Dave Canales, after that 1 year as offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, has done a tremendous job with this team in his second season. Has them playing for the division title on the first day, official first day of winter. 64 degrees. Chase McLaughlin to kick it off. The Bucs would rather have it to start the second half. They deferred to Carolina. Here we go. It'll be a touchback out to the 35, down to the field, and Jen Hale. Jen?
Chris, both quarterbacks come in today with better form, better momentum than they've had in recent weeks. For Baker Mayfield, it's the health of that non-throwing shoulder. He's been battling through a lot of pain, and it has shown. For the first time in a while, he didn't have to wrap that non-throwing shoulder in practice. He tells me it is wrapped for today out of an abundance of precaution. And for Bryce, he's posting career highs across multiple categories, playing the best football of his career. Now, how does he handle the most clutch moment, the brightest spotlight of his professional career?
Baker Mayfield.
Look, I just love it, man. I love he talks so much smack. I love the energy.
He's 5-0 in his career against the Panthers, 4-0 since he's come over as the Bucs. You see, he's the Walter Payton Man of the Year representative. We have an injured player. It's Robert Rochelle from Ohio State, but McMillan is the guy who they said is the best route runner, and glad to have him back. And you see when they return, this is why for the first time the offensive coordinator for this Buccaneer team, Josh Grizzard, has all of his weapons to work with, including not just the receivers, but Bucky Irving and Rachaad White as well. That's his 12th touchdown against Carolina in just the last 10 games, going head-to-head, capping a 53-yard drive in under 6.5 minutes. And those are the career numbers that Mark Schlereth mentioned a moment ago, the most against any opponent.
Baker Mayfield just wanted to go over there and tell Merrick right off the bat, hey, man, don't leave 13 one-on-one. You leave 13 one-on-one, you know who's going to find him? Number 6 is going to find him, and he's going to score a touchdown. That's what he said.
And that's why Evans said he does so well against the Panthers. He said through the years they continue to play me one-on-one. And maybe let's get a game break. Say hi to Carissa Thompson. Hey, Carissa.
Hello, Chris. Chargers fighting for a playoff spot, down 7 to the Cowboys. Justin Herbert throws a perfect ball to Quentin Johnston, who only needs one hand to come down with a 23-yard score. Cowboys, Chargers all tied at 7. Chris?
All right, thank you, Carissa. Appreciate you keeping us up to date. The Cowboys eliminated. Congratulations as the Eagles win another NFC East Division title. A seesaw season, up and down after a 3-3 start. Panthers have alternated wins and losses in each outing for the last 8 games. Coming in this week, their record perfectly balanced at 7-7, but they're looking for that upswing. They want to get up there and get into the postseason for the first time since 2017.
Yeah.
The island greeting that we send to you.
Both of these teams stumbled week 15. Bucs led the Falcons Thursday, 28-14, lost at a game-winning field goal. Panthers led the Saints 17-7 in the third quarter. Saints came back to win 20-17 on a game-winning field goal. And both of these teams losing double-digit leads in the second half in divisional games. But look, that's the first time they've lost a game decided by 3 points or fewer this season, each with a 5-1 record, and each with a chance to win the NFC South after a 49-yard punt.
You gotta care enough where it hurts. You gotta care enough where it hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. it was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
That was after that Thursday night game against Atlanta, and boy, that'll get your attention when your boss talks that way. Todd Bowles, usually soft-spoken. It's a good touchback. It affected his completion percentage, and it affected the Buccaneers, that going for the treasure. That's what the Bucs do. They set sail for their 5th straight NFC South division title, 6-2 into the bye week, and then they took on water here, losing 5 out of the last 6. And part of that, again, Baker, that left shoulder injury, and the defense struggling. Only need to win 2 of their last 3 to hold off the Panthers and win the NFC South once again. All right, the Panthers, to be right there, they need to win both of their games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They can also split with Tampa Bay, but then they would need the Bucs to lose their middle game with the Dolphins. And again, Tua Tagovailoa is on the bench. That's where the Bucs will play next Sunday in Miami. And if you're wondering why the Bucs have the slight edge, even though they both have the same record, we'll get to that in a moment. Now, let's get a game break again with Carissa.
Let's do it, Chris. So the Chargers down 3. Justin Herbert throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. This one, perfect pass to Ladd McConkey from 25 yards out. Chargers lead 14-10 over the Cowboys. Chris?
All right, thank you. And the Chargers on a roll as the crowd with a boo to... Bucs have dominated this division, winning each of the last 4 seasons. No team has ever won 5 straight NFC South. But after losing 5 of their last 6, Bucs and Panthers tied for the division lead entering today at 7-7 and tied within the division. Normally you'd go to a tiebreaker head-to-head, but this is the first of their 2 meetings for the year. And the common opponents, that's the edge at the moment that has the Bucs ahead of Carolina by percentage points. About the kind of game you expect in the NFC South. Low scoring. The only touchdown, a Baker Mayfield toss to Mike Evans, and Tampa Bay will get the ball to start the second half. Each team has 3 timeouts. We still have the 2-minute warning. So if you're Tampa Bay, how do you want to play this?
Yeah, if you're Tampa Bay now, this is about putting a drive together, eating up the clock, and ending this drive in a kick, be it a PAT, field goal, or, either one, field goal or an extra point. So that's where you want to end up, because you're getting the ball in the second half. They always call it the middle 8 minutes, right? The 4 minutes at the end of the first half and the 4 minutes at the beginning of the third quarter. You want to win those. Tampa Bay's in a great spot to do that. But Carolina, you get a 3 and out, you still have your 3 timeouts and that 2-minute warning as well. You could flip it on them and have that opportunity to score.
Hey, the holiday's got a groove. Hit it, fellas. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime, we'll swing through the biggest plays of the half. Terry's got the highlights, smooth and steady, and we will set the mood for the playoff picture, so stay with us. We'll see you at the half.
It's an All-American bandstand from Century City, and this is Kurt Menefee going back to his DJ days. They got a great setup down there. They had fake snow the other night before being brought down. Greg Biffle, a NASCAR legend who had career success at all 3 levels of the sport, did great humanitarian work, died this past Thursday in a plane crash with his family. Our thoughts, prayers with him, the NASCAR family, and all friends. Really nice day here in Charlotte, North Carolina, as we welcome you back into the booth at a 10-6 advantage. Mark Schlereth, Chris Myers. Again, early happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you. Well, the Panthers tired of getting pushed around in the division and this game. A great opportunity here, Mark, to do something with the football, get a little momentum in before the halftime break. And again, the Bucs get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they've got a little over a minute here in the end of the second quarter here. All 3 of their timeouts. So put a drive together, see if you can come away with points. That's what the Carolina Panthers have to do right now. But really close game, and they've got a chance to go up and score a touchdown and get the lead right before halftime.
I know the Bucs' mission was to run the ball 30 times, we've talked about, but in some ways they've been a little conservative when they've tried to throw. It seems the Panther defense has really made it difficult on Baker Mayfield. And they will have 1 timeout remaining. So this is the entire NFC playoff picture. We mentioned that 9 teams still alive for 7 spots. The Lions, many thought, would be in great position, but you mentioned the Seattle win on Thursday night. Great game against the Rams. And then the Bears' overtime comeback win against the Packers have put them in great position, and the Eagles have clinched the division. And again, the winner of this game will be alone atop the NFC South. But they'll meet again to close the regular season down in Tampa Bay. And he's already celebrating the holidays. Showing on the clock. That drive was 63 yards in less than a minute. And these are the numbers. Who would have thought that Bryce Young would have 10 more attempts than Baker Mayfield? Each has thrown a touchdown and neither one has turned it over.
Well, that was a big time drive like we talked about. The management of that drive, getting it out to the edges, saving some timeouts, guys getting out of bounds, both Leggett getting out of bounds, you had Dowdle getting out of bounds, and then taking that shot like we talked about with 12 seconds left to the end zone, perfectly executed. I mean, you just can't finish it any better than that in this second quarter.
The pressure will be on the Bucs and Baker Mayfield as McMillan hauls in the touchdown in the biggest game, most important game of Bryce Young's 3-year career. We're at halftime, and the Bryce at halftime coming up with Kurt and the guys straight ahead. Throwing for the end zone, Mike Evans. Touchdown, that's a Buccaneer touchdown. McMillan in the end zone. He's got it, and that's going to be a Panthers touchdown. That is today's game flow presented by Progressive. A tight one and a tight one at the top of the NFC South as these are the first half numbers. Carolina closing right before the half to take the lead on that touchdown to McMillan. And let's listen in as Jen spoke with head coach Dave Canales a moment ago.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the ground game. Are you happy with the division of labor that you used first half between Rico and Chuba, or are you looking for a hot hand this half?
You know, I'm just looking for somebody to make a play for us, and we started off with some nice runs early on. The Bucs settled in, kind of stopped us a little bit there, but the pass game started to come alive, especially on the last drive. We got to continue that. On the defensive side, a couple of big plays, but we've settled in nice and limited them to 10 points. So we just got to stay on top of it, take care of their screen game.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck this half.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Jen and Coach Canales. And Bryce Young with an impressive drive right before the half, giving them the lead as they are ready to kick off. Remember, the winner of this game, we keep repeating for those that are flipping through channels or watching a number of other games, they move alone atop of the NFC South. They're going to play each other in 2 weeks to close out the regular season. Bucs just need to win 2 out of their last 3, and they'll get the home playoff game in the division. Panthers a little more involved, but need a win here as Cameron Johnson will take it on the bounce and get up across the 30-yard line. Well, I know the Bucs wanted to run the ball 30 times, Mark Schlereth, but at some point with all of those receivers healthy and Baker Mayfield, if he has time, don't you expect them to throw the ball a little more in this half? Especially, I know it's only 3, but they're trailing.
Yeah, no question about it. What they really need to do is fix the self-inflicted wounds. I mean, you saw a couple of procedure penalties early. They had the illegal man downfield, and then they go 0 blitz at the very end of the half and give up the big long touchdown to Tetairoa McMillan. So it's self-inflicted wounds that are costing you right now if you're Tampa, and you've got to cure those things first off.
Hey, this holiday season, Fox Sports and Purple Heart Homes are teaming up to provide housing solutions for our nation's aging and disabled veterans through the Hearts for the Holidays campaign. To learn how you can help heal hearts one home at a time, scan the QR code or go to go.fox/Purple Heart Homes. And to all the servicemen and women around the globe, wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks for the great service and sacrifice. Mark Schlereth, Chris Myers, Jen Hales down on the field. Oka came in with the big numbers, but today it's been more about Tetairoa McMillan, the 2 rookie receivers, as we look at the current numbers. And by the way, that connection with Bryce Young is not by accident with McMillan. They trained in California before the draft. And, you know, McMillan believes that Young encouraged the Panthers, those who make the decision to draft him, as high as they did in the top 10, and it's worked well. Start of the fourth quarter, you know it's a big game when Greg Olsen shows up, called the game on Fox yesterday. And to start the fourth quarter, keep pounding and bang the drum. The former Panther tight end adding to the atmosphere after that 43-yard return by Cameron Johnston. He's had a big afternoon.
I'm disappointed in Greg that he didn't break the drum.
Well, he kind of tore a hole in it.
All right.
I mean, they still have to use it later. And that's going to back him up 5. Gedeke. Hey, Joey Logano is here, the 3-time NASCAR Cup champion with family. The NASCAR season starts on Fox with the Daytona 500, February 15th. And the IndyCar season begins on Fox at St. Petersburg, Florida on March 1st. Not only is he here, we got a 7-time IndyCar Series winner, Scott McLaughlin, joining us as well. And don't forget the Indy 500 in May is on Fox. I think we pretty much got you covered. Nice seeing you guys, enjoying a good game between the Bucs and the Panthers. Under 8 by Coker. Well, Bryce Young, the people around here call him the Carolina Reaper, and we mean it in a good way. His 5-game winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, second only to Bo Nix in the league. Dolphin game, Cowboys, mentioned the Packers, Falcons, and Rams. And he's hoping to put his team on top of the Panthers on top of the Bucs in this division and give the Panthers a chance to wrap it up. As has to fair catch that at the 12-yard line of Tampa Bay. All tied up and tied atop the division. Who's going to take that top spot?
In the lane, snow is glistening.
Next Sunday, just 2 weeks left. Some early regional action, that America's Game of the Week. Eagles and Jalen Hurts taking on Josh Allen and the Bills. Buffalo needing to win. And of course, the seeding process. The Eagles have already captured the NFC. He's checked the listings in your area for the game Sunday on Fox. And this is the NFC playoff picture. Now, in this game for the South, the only way that the Bucs or Panthers get in is winning the division, and they'll get that first home playoff game at least. They are out of the wild card picture for a moment. Mentioned the nickname the Reaper. 11 career game-winning drives. He hasn't been to the playoffs yet, but he keeps this up. Youngest quarterback in NFL history to have 11 game-winning drives. Currently, he's 24 years old. And looking for his 6th game-winning drive of this season alone. Week 16 going to the wire. 2 teams to decide it. One of them will move to the top spot alone in the NFC South, and they'll face each other on the final Sunday of the regular season. The Bucs have the football trailing the Panthers by 3. Boy, Mark Schlereth, Chris Mars, if you're a football fan, it's the kind of game you want, right? The only way to get in is win the division. It's face-to-face, head-to-head, battling it out, and in the final few minutes, it could go either way.
Yeah, no question about it. As Tampa gets this ball back, remember, don't forget the best thing you've done to do today so far is run the football. So you can't give up on that run. Still have time to be balanced on this drive, trying to put a touchdown drive together to win this thing.
Yeah, the Bucs still have a 2-minute warning and a couple of timeouts. Early, Tampa Bay strikes first. Mike Evans on the touchdown toss from Mayfield, and McMillan from Bryce Young. Sean Tucker ran it in for a touchdown. Bryce Young evaded the rush and found his tight end, Sanders, and field goals. Both kickers have been money, and we have not had a turnover. Hasn't been a takeaway in this game. This is the scoring by quarter. And this game may have overtime stamped all over it if Baker and the Bucs can't do something with it, or Carolina can't in the final 2:20. Now,
the camera's eye is drawn to the quarterback, and his image combines arm with charm. He was a fiery competitor who met all challenges head-on. The special zip in his arm and an unwavering belief in his abilities.
And Baker Mayfield on the spot. 16 game-winning drives in his career. 8 with the Bucs. 4 this season. In a hole, trailing by 3.
Ends the game. Ransom with the interception.
With only one timeout, there's nothing Tampa Bay can do. Ransom was the guy the penalty was called on in the loss against the Saints that later, well, there were a couple of things they said were debatable, but he came up big here when the Panthers needed him the most. And Bryce Young to Tanneroa McMillan. A touchdown to Sanders. Got the Bucs off the ropes and put the Panthers ahead. And Carolina will go to the top of the NFC South all alone. And that's the way it looks at the moment. They will play Seattle next. The Bucs will go to Miami. And then the two teams will meet in Tampa Bay on the final regular season Sunday. One of the bigger wins in Panther history in late December around here in a long time. Defense wins it for Carolina. State Farm postgame show is coming up.